It's that time of year again, Hardwood fans. Boys playoffs are right around the corner, and I'm here with Pat Chiesa to break down the first round
Brad,
action.
I'm almost as excited as you were watching WWE Raw last night.
That's right, Pat. The Rock is back, and I smell what he's cooking. But first, let's start with Division II basketball.
Yeah, let's start with D2, Brad. We have a number 8 seed Athens Bulldogs squad taking on the 9 seed New Lex Panthers. Both teams are 7-11, and the winner will have their hands full. They'll take on a 15-2 number 1 seeded Warren squad, and that should be a tough game for whoever wins that. But this Athens New Lex game, February 21st at Logan, should be a very good game.
Right, that's going to be a great matchup. New Lex actually beat Nelsonville-York earlier on in the year, and Athens is 1-1 against Nelsonville-York, and the winner of that game will go on to play Warren, like you said. But then the winner of that one will take on, I find, an underrated 4 seed in Vinton County.
Very underrated 4 seed in Vinton County. They are 14-3 this year. As you know, they won the TVC-Ohio. They have a great backcourt in Levi Lawhead and Adam Ward. They sure do know how to score the ball, so watch out for the Vinton County Vikings. Couldn't make a run to the Convo. But hey, let's transition to Division III now, where we have 3 teams to talk about, starting with a 7th seed in Nelsonville-York pitted against a 10th seed in Fed-Hawk. These 2 teams met once this year already, and Nelsonville-York won in a barn burner 58-55, so another evenly matched game we have.
Right, Pat, and the winner of that game will go on to take a 2-seeded Meigs, who's 9-10 on the year, so a little bit of surprise that they're ranked that high. So if Nelsonville-York and Federal Hocking have some momentum going into that game against Meigs, I mean, we could see them take down a 2-seed.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little head scratch here, Brad, because I'm kind of surprised that Meigs is the 2nd seed with a losing record. If you look at the teams behind them, they're pretty darn good. And Nelsonville only lost to Meigs 65-60. That's a 5-point loss the first time these 2 teams played. And they're going to play Meigs again February 18th to close out the regular season. So should be a great litmus test for Coach Klein and company to say, hey, not only do we have a chance to win this first round game, but hey, we can knock off the number 2 seed as well.
Right, and Alexander's also in Division III. There's a 6th seed. They'll be taking on 11th seeded the Crooksville Ceramics, who are 5-4 on the year, and the winner of that will go on to play 3 seed Southeastern.
And this Crooksville team did defeat the aforementioned New Lex Panthers, so don't sleep on them. But I like the Alexander Spartans over the Ceramics in this one. They have gone 8-5 since they started off their season pretty awful. They lost their first 5 games. Can't get any worse than that, but they've rebounded and they've played some solid basketball. They just had a huge win over Nelsonville-York in overtime, so I like the Alexander Spartans.
Right, and last but certainly not least, in Division IV, we have the Trimble Tomcats taking on Southern on March 2nd there. Southern and Trimble have traded a win and loss on the year.
Yeah, they're familiar foes in the TVC-Hocking. The first time these 2 teams met back in December, Trimble won 67-56, but Southern came back on February 8th and they got some sweet, sweet revenge. They won by 14, 55-41. This is a strong Southern team. You and I have seen them play, Brad. They've beaten the Eastern Eagles, so they can play with the best, but they've also lost to Belpre and Fed-Hawk. So the question is, which team are we going to see on March 2nd? But they are currently riding a 3-game winning streak, so chances are we're going to see a strong Southern Tornado squad on March 2nd.
Right, Pat, and all this playoff talk reminds me I better stop on over at Walmart and pick up some extra deodorant, because these playoffs get me all hot and bothered.
Brad, I recommend Secret for you. You'll smell just beautiful.
Well, I'm actually more of a degree gal myself, so.
Respect. Well, hey, that's all the playoff talk we had for you. But make sure you keep it locked on the web. We're going to bring some more boys and girls playoff recaps right back on your computer. So until then, make sure you check out Hardwood Heroes Sunday at 6:30 on WOUB2.